Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here today. Sorry for the late start. My apologies to you all. We're here today to talk about a show we are promoting on the 9th of May at the Wembley Arena in London, and we thank Frederick's Restaurant today for hosting the press conference to announce it. The show will feature Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr, not against each other, in separate fights. Billy Joe will be having a fight, hopefully before he fighting the winner of Andy Lee and Quillen. He was supposed to fight in the States on the 11th of April, but unfortunately sustained an injury, and that's why he didn't travel. So now we're keeping him busy by giving him a fight on the 9th of May. We had hoped to announce the opponent this morning, but we can't do that. We will do that later on this afternoon once we get the confirmation back from America that the contract we sent is signed. Also on the card, in the joint main event, is Chris Eubank Jr, who will be defending his interim WBA World Middleweight title against Les Sheringham from Australia. He's had, like both these guys, they've had some tough fights, their last few fights. Bill, I think, has fought 6 or 7 undefeated fighters on the spin. I think that's the amount it is. So, as I say, he's done everything that's been asked of him. 21-0, perfect record. And young Christopher, as we know, last year fought against Bill and lost a points decision, and has subsequently become the interim WBA champion, done brilliantly in his last fight. So he's out there and he's, as I say, be defending that title against Sherrington. Sherrington, I believe, will give him a solid fight. He's a decent, solid performer. He has a win over Shannon Taylor. And obviously I want to see these two guys get to a situation by the end of the year that they fight each other in a rematch. In the meantime, hopefully Bill comes back with a WBO title, and then we've got an amalgamation or unification of titles. So that's what we're working to do with the two guys. There's an era at the moment developing again in the middleweight division, which I think goes back to what, the sort of glory and heydays of the late 80s and 90s when Chris's dad was fighting, Nigel Benn. We're in a similar situation now with what's going on with these two guys and a few of the other middleweights that are around. So hopefully we'll get to a stage where we're going to see some of them exciting fights that we had back in those times amongst some of the middleweights in the UK at the moment. In the meantime, they've got to keep winning their fights before we get this unification on. Also on the card will be Frank Buglioni defending his WBO European title, Bradley Skeet, Mitchell Smith, and amongst others. So it's a cracking little show that we're looking forward to putting on, and looking forward to, as I say, the guys coming through so that we can then move on to a much bigger stage in the next year with a huge fight, and I think that's certainly going to be happening. Anyway, we've got the guys here, and we've got Chris's manager and trainer, Ronnie Davis. So if you've got any questions to ask, please feel free to do so.
Have you seen much of Sherrington?
I heard his name today. So, don't know who he is, don't know what he's about.
That's his record.
I was told I was supposed to be fighting a man called Spike O'Sullivan, who has been gunning for me for the last 2 years, and apparently he's pulled out. His management team don't want to fight. I don't know the full story, but now they're telling me I'm fighting this guy from Australia. It really doesn't matter. I'm not interested in any of those guys. I'm interested in the rematch with the man sitting across from me in the pink shirt, and that's what I'm working towards. That's all I care about, is redeeming my loss.
Pink shirt's all the wins still on my record.
For you, can you do a rematch as soon as possible, or do you want
Listen, I gave him a shot. I was a champion. He didn't deliver. He come out. He had the mouth. I beat him. cashing on my world title shot now. This is what happens. You get rewards when you're in big fights and you come victorious. My reward is WBO world title. I will get that. I will be a man to my word. I said I'll give him a rematch. When I get it, we're set down on my terms and we'll do the rematch. Yeah, not a problem. And I'll beat him more easier this time than I did last time.
You expect Andy Lee to beat you?
To be fair, it's a 50-50 fight, you know. Quillen's not really been hit on the chin, he's not really been tested. I'm sure Andy Lee will. You know, Andy Lee's been in some tough fights himself, so, you know, it's a 50-50 fight.
And
With that world title fight, would it be in America if Peter Quillen wins? Or
if Andy Lee wins, it would be in the UK. And you think Andy Lee, you sort of talk about this 90s situation again with the middleweights. It's a bit like Steve Collins. He's like the modern day Steve Collins, of the, you know, from that point of view, and he adds spice to the situation. I hope he wins, and I think, like Bill says, it's a 50-50 fight. Whatever happens, at the end of the day, we've got a great, you know, some really great fights can be made here amongst all these guys, and they are, you know, they're quality young fighters. They're the best around. They've livened up this division in a big way. So let's keep our fingers crossed that Andy Lee wins, and they all keep winning.
Frank, what happened with Spike?
Spike O'Sullivan was offered the fight by my matchmaker. They agreed terms. Subsequently, they came back and demanded astronomical money that if he were to beat Chris, or not him, his manager came back for astronomical money after we agreed terms, and it just wasn't viable. We're not going down that road, and it's a shame really, because Spike's a nice guy, and you know, we promoted him for a long time.
Is
and,
he? I didn't know that.
Sorry?
He's a nice guy, huh?
Well, he's a nice guy.
Have you seen what he's been saying to me
No, I
for the
don't.
last 2 years? on
What's he
Twitter?
been saying? I don't see it.
The guy's obsessed. You know, the guy's, you know, it's like he's in love with me. He's tweeted me probably every week for the last 2 years, and you know, he now he gets his shot.
Well, you know, you'll do tell him to tweet his manager,
Well, you know,
and then they can have it.
talk. You know, the way he goes on. You know, he talks like he'd fight me for free, and now he's got his chance, and they can't do the fight because they're asking for too much money.
Yeah.
So,
So it got, you know, so it was agreed, and it's a shame really. But you know, he had his biggest payday ever. If I'm sure if he looks at his pay packet, it was against Bill, and this would have been up there, probably even a bigger one. So it's a shame for him, and it's a shame for you know, the public. So I think it's a fight they wanted to see, but that's what it is. His promoter is a guy who sings in a band called the is it what they called? Dropkick Murphy.
There was also some talk about shooting on a rematch clause. I think Vlad's
No, there was no rematch clause at all. No.
Bill, did you see Chris' performance against Chudnov? It earned a lot of respect from the fans from that performance. Did you see it?
Sorry, mate.
Did you see it fight against Chudnov where he won it up?
Yeah, I was there. I was working on the night. I see bits of it. But you know, Chudnov is what he is. You know, he's a comfortable swinger. You know, if he landed 10 punches on me with 12 rounds, I would be very upset. I think Chris made hard work of it. You know, I think that, you know, he done well to get me out there before the end of the round. But listen, he is what he is. He's not a class fighter, is he? Let's face it. He's been here. He got a draw, Patrick Mendy. He got a Max Maxwell. I think he just got beat by him. Yeah, I'll give him probably a 1 out of 10 performance for the opponent, but he got the win. That's the main thing.
Ronald, what did you make of Chris' performance against Chudnov?
I thought he boxed really well. He put the weight back on properly for this fight, nice and strong. Yeah, I thought he boxed well.
What will you be working on moving forward?
Sorry?
What will you be working on with him moving forward?
What? How do you mean when we work?
In terms of the areas that you think he still needs to improve?
Oh, he's alright as he is. Just let him go. He'll be right. I don't work on nothing special. He's there. He knows what he's got to do. He'll be in the right spot. He prepares as always. You know, fight's a fight. Bit old school me, but that's the way it is.
Frank, does it help if you promote both these guys to get a rematch in the sense?
Well, sure. You know, as I say, I don't think, as Bill said, there'll be a rematch, and It's about when and where. And I'm sure the public are called for that, and it's got to be done at the right time. But I think really, before we get to that, they've got to focus on the 9th of May, because we've seen all big fights suddenly go out the window, rematches and whatever. When guys are not focusing on what they've got in front of them. And I think what they need to do is get the guys that they're going to be facing on the 9th of May out the way, and then see where we go from there. The 11th of May is quite an important situation as well. As I said earlier, the Andy Lee Quillen fight is going to determine a lot of things as well. So, it's really interesting times.
There seems to be an appetite for these two.
You haven't got.
It's more than an appetite, and the argument is he wants to fight for a world title. The world title's right here, Billy.
That's not a world title.
It's a world title.
Do you call that world title? Yeah.
It's an interim
Be
world
mad
title.
then, it's
And
interim.
this makes me
That
higher in the
makes you-
rankings than you.
Ha, rankings, yeah.
So,
Check the WBC, WBO,
What you want to do is not worry
not
about
with
Quillen
box
and
rec,
Andy Lee.
whatever else. Listen,
You want
All right,
to
the
take the
rankings,
fight
box rec,
that can
I'll
get you
beat
a belt, and what Britain
Chris,
wants
I'll
to
beat
see.
you, mate. Yeah.
You didn't.
You've been beat. I've beat you.
Come on.
Yeah. You know I'll beat you.
Come on.
Right? Did you win that fight?
You were holding on for dear life for 6
Right.
rounds.
Let me tell you one thing. Can I ask you one question? Do you think you won that fight?
Of course I do.
Right. Ronnie, I respect him. He's an extremely, extremely knowledgeable man. Ronnie, did you come up to me on the night of that fight at the last show when he boxed last and said, "Well done, Billy Joe, you was the deservable winner"?
What's that got to do with me?
I'm asking you. I'm trainer. You're
He's
trainer.
my trainer.
Thank you very much, Ronnie.
This is nothing to
End
do with
story.
him. This is to do
You're
with me. and you.
deluded, man. You're deluded. You're on drugs.
You're not a better fighter.
You
than
must
me.
be on drugs. I'm a better fighter than you because I've beat you.
The public
I've
know-
beat you already.
The public
I've
know.
beat you already. Listen, let me
the
tell you one
bookies
thing.
know.
You will get a rematch when I want to give you a rematch.
Gypsies are
And
coming up to me
you
and
will
telling
be
me,
on
you know
mine.
what, you beat him.
Yeah?
Gypsies, your own people
Oh,
are telling
oh,
you.
that's-
this.
How would Spike get on against Chris?
Spike can knock him out cold.
Come on.
100%. Let
Come
me
on.
tell you what. If he pulls that same performance when he boxed Judenov, I'll gamble with him. I'll have £10,000 in now. Spike can knock him out cold. I know he will. 1,000,000,000% fact. It's no good you pulling them little eyes because you know you get knocked out.
I'd
as well.
love to see it. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I know you're shocked. You're shocked you got beat by me. That's why you're shocked for. You're not over it.
I'm shocked.
It's
that
gone
you,
now. It's gone 5 months ago. Yeah?
You know what's coming. You
You
don't want to fight me.
All right, listen. It's right you saying that.
You
You,
don't
know,
wanna- you
you
don't
know
wanna
what
fight
already
me.
come to you, son.
You
I
don't
beat
wanna
you.
fight me
You got
again.
beat. You've lost. You've lost.
Hey,
Your
I
O's
have
gone.
the loss on my record,
Hang on,
sure.
but your O here, look.
Are you a better fighter than me?
There,
Never.
Your O's in that pocket.
Never.
Take your little belt home and hold your trousers up because that's all that's good for. You ain't got no good belts, man. I've got the best belts.
You don't
I've
want
got the
it.
best. I'll be fighting for a WBO well. So, but that, what's that? That's
No
an
one wants to
international.
see that.
I'll
No
tell you
one
what I've
wants to
done.
see
I won the WBO International Continental, what you want to call it. I ain't even got the belt yet for it
This is
because I don't want it.
This is not international.
I wouldn't bother
This is
doing that,
interim
man.
world
That's no
title.
good. Would you bother putting that in front of your mantelpiece?
Interim world title.
You can show that to your old grandkids when you get old and say, "Oh, listen, lie to them."
Come and get it.
Listen, come. I don't want it.
do
Keep
want
it.
it. You need
That's
it.
rubbish.
You need
I'll
it
tell you what I do.
because without me,
when I
you're
get the
nothing.
WBO world title,
Without
yeah,
me-
I will give you a chance, like I said, I'm a man to my word, but on my terms and conditions, not yours.
I told you the other day.
Let me tell you
I'm
one
the
thing,
most
people,
exciting
yeah?
thing that's happened
Yeah,
in your
let
entire
me
career.
tell you one thing now.
Everyone wants
when
to
you're
see you
training
fight
for
me.
a fight, when you're training for a fight for a big fight, yeah, and you got someone clowning around, you don't know whether they're going to get in the ring with you and fight you or not. Do you not think that does you a bit mentally and you think, right, he's not getting in the ring with me, is he going to fight, is he not going to fight? But let me tell you now I know that I've got the win over him. Next time when he fights me, from day one to the day I'll get in that ring, I know he's fighting because I've got his own. Yeah? When you're training for 6-7 weeks and people's in you and saying, I don't think he's going to fight you, are you going to be fighting? Are you going to... Listen, messing me about, I still got in there with all that, went through all the training camp, don't know whether he's going to fight or not, whether he's going to pussy out, and still beat him. Let me tell you, when I fight you again, little boy, you will get worse than done again. 100,000,000% fact, you will get beat.
Worse
Do you know
than
what?
done?
You will get
What
you will
does
get
that mean?
stopped next time. I promise you this, you will get stopped.
you-
Listen, you know in that second round when I caught you, yeah?
You
I
were there-
caught you in that
you
second
were there
round.
for the
You're
last
laughing.
6 rounds.
Listen, you're there, yeah,
You were
you're
there for the
laughing.
last 6
When I
rounds.
caught you in that second
So how
round
you
and see
gonna
your
stop
legs
me?
do a little dip, you know. Only me and you know. I caught you in that second round and you
My-
know you
my
was
legs
hurt.
did a dip, okay.
You know you was hurt in that
I've got to
second
watch
round.
the fight again because I don't remember that.
Oh, you best watch it again because you're the only man who thinks you won. I think you need to watch it with the sound on, mate.
I don't think so.
I think you need to watch what I was doing instead of watch what you was doing.
At the end of the day,
Staring
talk's
me
talk.
out.
The rematch is on the table for
You're
you,
the
Billy.
only man who trying to give you a bit of advice in the corner and tells him to shut up. What good is
never
that?
told my
That's
friend
not
to
good.
shut up.
You did. It's on camera.
The
Everybody
rematch is on
heard
the
it.
table. I'm ready when you are.
Listen, I'm ready when I'm ready. I've got something to do. I've got a lot of money to earn
don't have
first.
anything to
Yeah,
do.
I've got a lot of money to earn first. While you're sitting in Brighton clowning about the gym with your dad and moving up and down, I'm earning a lot of money. I beat you. My reward is WBO
The money you're
world
going to
title.
get for that fight is nothing compared to what you get for the rematch. So
What?
don't talk
No,
about
you, listen,
money.
and you know that as well. Listen, let me tell
So
you one
don't
thing.
talk about
Without
money.
me, you wouldn't have got
The
the money.
rematch
either.
is here. Take it.
Let me tell you one thing. I
Everyone
guarantee
wants
you
to
now,
see it.
the money I'm getting for a world title, you'll never see in your life.
Everybody wants to see
Unless
the
you fight
rematch.
me. Because listen, your biggest payday is me now, not my biggest
Everyone
payday
wants
you.
to see the
If I
rematch.
want to fight you,
There's no reason
I'll
to
give
talk
you a
anymore.
payday. Listen, I'll give you a payday. 1,000,000% fact, not you giving me it.
Give it to me.
I will
I'm
be
ready.
the champion.
I'm ready.
You ready, yeah?
I'm ready.
Fight Spike, then I'll give you. How about
Spike
that?
doesn't want it. Spike
Spike,
is pulled
listen,
out.
well,
Your
sort out the
boyfriend
fight.
pulled out after 2 years of trying to get the fight. He's not here.
Yeah?
He should be where you're sitting right now. He's not. And you don't want it either.
I don't want it. I've already beat you,
You
man.
don't want it. If you
I've
wanted
already
it, you
beat
take
you.
it. It's right here.
I've
I'll fight-
already beat you.
Let's fight on May 9th.
Right, what, you want to fight May 9th?
I'd love
All
to.
right, double me, I'll tell you what I do, Frank. Double my purse for the world title and I'll fight May 9th. Not a problem.
See,
No, we're not.
That's not a problem.
I'm not worried. Hang on, just stop. Hang on. I'm going to just stop. Just stop. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not worried about. Just say what you said again. Double what?
Double my purse for the world title I'm getting and I'll fight in May 9th.
Right. Okay.
Not a problem.
That sounds great. But let me just tell you that we're at Wembley. No. Listen. We're at Wembley. We are at Wembley Arena. So the size of that constricts that fight before we start. But we'll talk after this. But the most important thing is I think we're going to get a rematch down the road. There's no doubt about that. And it's a matter of when. And I know that it's eagerly awaited and it's my job to deliver it. And also what everyone's got to understand as well, I'm also Bill's manager. So I have to, from Bill's point of view, ensure that it's on the, if this does happen, it's on his terms, and the terms that he wants.
It'd be on my terms because I've got the win. I'm the champion. And I will be WBO champion. I said it from day one. I will come out with that world title, but it's Peter Quillen or Andy Lee. And when I beat you that night, I said, after the fight, I will give you a shot. You will have a shot when I'm good and ready. No problem at all. Is that good for you, Chrissy boy?
I want it now. I want a shot.
We all want it now.
I want the
I
shot
want
now before
£1
someone
million
beats
now, but I've got to work and earn it. You've got to work and earn it this time. I'll give you a shot.
You won't
last
beat
time.
Quillen. You won't beat Lee.
No?
I want you before they take you out.
Yeah, okay, well, you ain't got that chance now. Unless he doubles that, then you've got a chance in 6-7 weeks' time.
You're
Not a
scared,
problem.
Billy. You're scared. It's
Oh
okay.
yeah, I'm scared, but I've already beat you once, man.
You're scared.
Listen, let me tell you one thing. It's important you saying I'm scared, right? I've already beat you, man. Have you got a loss in your life?
You're
Oh, let
given a
me
win.
check one thing. 1 second, 1 minute. Hang on, right.
You were given the win, and
One
now you're
second,
scared to fight me again because you know what's
Chris
coming.
Eubank Jr. Hang on. Well, I can't even say the name. Win. Oh, lost. Who's that? That's Billy Joe Saunders there. That's on paper, mate. Hang on, let's look at Billy Joe Saunders now.
Paper
yeah?
doesn't matter.
Win.
It's what happens in the
Win. Oh, what's that? Hang on, he's not there because that's still all wins. Oh, here we are. Eubanks. Wins, point decision. Look at that. That's in black and white.
That's
That
great.
is in black and white.
Paper isn't in the fight.
No? So, alright, and what's up with the rankings? What's the rankings about? The paper's not the right. That may mean nothing either. Do the
What means
rankings, do the
something
box rep rankings
is
mean
the
anything?
fight that the public want to see, and that you see
100%.
that
The
you
public
don't want.
wanted to see it first of all. Yeah, I'll give it to the public. I didn't need to. What I could have done is box somebody from Australia or wherever I wanted to fight someone from, get the win over him, and still get me shot where I'm at now. But no, I put it on the line, give you a shot to take a chance to take my spot. You failed to do it. So therefore, you're going to have to wait now and earn your own shot back, or you've got to wait till I win the world title till I'm good and ready to give you it. And this time, there will be no messing about not turning up to press conferences, not turning up to not else, and wasting everybody's time and everybody else who's sat here, getting people to fly back from Spain and stuff like that. You will do what we say when we want to say. If not, you don't get the fight. Simple as that. There you go.
As long as I get the fight, you can have whatever you want.
Oh, thank you very much. Give me your purse as well, though.
Ron, does this have all marks of Ben and Eubanks? And
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
all over it?
Yeah, it does.
I think even more so, because they're younger, aren't
yeah,
they?
they're younger. There's more. It's just a different era. Both really good for respect. Billy Joe, very much good fighter. Thought he just nicked it last time, but he can't win the second one. No disrespect, but
Right, so
I
no,
don't
yeah,
slag
thank you very
fighters
much.
off. It's not my
No,
way.
no.
Things went wrong in the last fight, right? I'm not going to disclose what it was. It's been put right. He will win convincingly next time. You know, tell Tibbsy I want my revenge, and that's what's going to happen. And he definitely wants these. You can't beat him, Bill.
Listen, what I say, I respect Ronnie. Brian's an extremely good trainer. He's done extremely good things in boxing. You know, he's one of the most recognised names. But you can only benefit off someone like Ronnie if you want to sit down and listen to him. If you don't want to choose not to sit down and listen to him, and that is your own fault. Because I sit down and I listen to Jimmy Tibbs. I box to under orders. Yeah, because sometimes we fight with our hearts. We get too much of it and we stand there and we'll have it. But that don't win you fights sometimes.
That's not you.
That
bro.
don't win you fights.
Don't try and trick people
Yeah.
into thinking that's the type
I'm
of
not
fight
tricking
you want.
someone.
You
I'm
don't
telling
have
you,
heart.
I box to orders, mate, and I beat you.
You don't have heart.
Perhaps if
bro.
I'd have boxed to myself
I
and
know
my
fighters
heart
have
would have got
heart,
the
but
better
that's
of
not
me,
you.
would I have won? I don't know, it could have been a different story, but I boxed to orders.
You
And
ran
next
and-
time,
you ran and
I will box
survived.
to more orders
You
and
survived.
beat you again.
You ran
That's
and
not a
survived
problem.
the entire
That is
fight.
not a problem. I'll beat
If
you
it wasn't
again.
for me, it would have been a terribly boring fight. You do know
So
that.
don't
right?
take two to make a fight, no.
Of course it
All
does.
right, I'm
but
just going to stand there and let you
You're
punch me.
happy. You're the
I'm
type
going to
of fighter.
stand
You're
there and let you
happy.
punch me to pieces.
You're
I'll be
happy.
nice
You're
boy.
happy to go
I'll be-
through
I'll
just
have a lot of brains
go through
around
the
me to
run of the
stand
mill. You're a
Well,
boring
I'll tell you
fighter.
what we do next time.
Nobody
Do you want
cares
to stand
about
toe
your
to toe?
fights. They're
Do you want to-
boring.
Listen, I'm asking you a question. Do you want to stand toe to toe next time?
Come on,
Do you want to stand toe to toe?
You don't have it in you.
Do you want to stand toe
You
to toe?
don't
I'm
have it
asking
in
you.
you.
Look,
I asked you that before and you wouldn't answer me.
Do you want to stand
I'm
toe
not
to
telling
toe?
you what I'm going to do. You don't have that in you.
Exactly.
You're not that
I
type
did
of
tell you
fighter.
what I do want to do and I beat you.
You're a runner.
You told me what you was going to do and I knew what you was going to
You
do.
nick points and you hold. That's what you do.
Thank you very much.
You're boring. Nobody cares.
Floyd
about
Mayweather's
you.
born as well, so he nicks points and he does. Floyd Mayweather born, yeah.
he doesn't.
Do Floyd Mayweather stand and
You
trade?
don't.
Do Floyd Mayweather ever stand and
Don't
trade?
ever compare yourself to
Do you?
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, you do. You said
Never
you
compare
said that you
yourself to
beat Floyd Mayweather. Your dad said you beat Golovkin.
I never said- I
Golovkin will
never said
destroy
I
me
beat-
and you on the same
I never
night.
said
How about
I
that?
beat Mayweather.
He's the only man I know who can beat Golovkin. He's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Did you not say you're better than Floyd?
No, I did not.
Did your dad say that?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Hang on, can anyone, who heard that? Who heard the interview once? Can someone, come on lads, be honest. Did you hear that? So don't lie to them, tell them the truth.
My father said that in
No,
England,
no,
I can
listen.
be. I have the
Here we go.
potential to be as big as Floyd
No,
Mayweather.
you are
in-
going,
in
this
thing.
man
And that's
is
the
going to
goal.
be bigger than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Okay,
he
well,
said.
that
Let
doesn't
me
mean
tell
I'm a
you.
better fighter than him now,
Come
does
on,
it?
listen, wake up.
Don't twist the
Wake
words.
up, we're in Islington.
And that's
Wake
the goal.
up.
That's the
We're not
difference.
in Las
That's
Vegas.
the difference between me and him. He's the type of fighter. He looks at a fighter and says, "No, I can't beat him. I couldn't beat Gennady Golovkin. He'd knock me out. He'd smash everybody in the same night." Me, I don't care who you are. I will find a way. I'll think of a way to beat you, and I'll go into the ring thinking.
Pity
that.
you didn't do
You're
that
not-
on the
you're not a
29th of
champion.
November
You're not a champion.
2014.
You're not a
Because then
champion.
you would have been city of the winner. You
You're
didn't
not-
think
you're
of
not
it
a
then, did
champion.
you?
You don't
Because
have
you
the
said you'd have a
championship
die
mindset.
to defend your own. And Frank even said on the table, don't say that. Frank, did you say that?
I'll die to defend my record.
Thank you
That
very
means
much.
I don't
And
give up.
listen, yeah.
I
Well,
don't give
I'll
up.
beat you, man. I'll beat
I
you.
don't give up.
I'll beat you. I'll beat you. You can't handle defeat, mate. You're a very bad loser. You're a bad
I've got the loss on my record. No
yes,
one's
you have.
disputing
Thank you
that.
very much. End of story. You've got the
Nobody's
loss on your
disputing that.
record.
All I'm saying
Listen,
is
you just said,
a lot of the public think you didn't win, so let's get the rematch.
all right, let me ask you one question, people. I want the truth. If you think I lost now, right, I know you're here to do a job. Put one hand up if you think Chris won the fight.
This is not the public.
Thank you very much. Right, who thought I won the fight? Thank you very much, people. Thank you very
Ken,
much.
stop
colleagues.
sitting on the fence. You only
Cheers,
went
mate.
half. I saw you.
Cheers,
You
mate.
went like that.
He half thought he won it.
Yeah. Was that? It's got to be a draw then, Jim.
2 or 3 rounds, maybe.
Listen, Mayor, listen. If my granny had a pair of balls, she'd have been my granddad, but she hasn't.
And that's why everyone was a seating rematch, because there's so many question marks. You know, it's what if, you know, oh, did he win, didn't he win? That's why everyone wants to see it. So that's why we should give it
Listen,
to them.
listen, don't worry, I will give it to you, mate. I said, but you got to wait and earn it. You got to fight somebody now to earn your shot.
I've
Like
fought
I had to
somebody.
fight.
I'm-
Listen,
I'm
I had
higher
to
than
fight
you.
back to back. Listen, an Australian come over, unbeaten Olympian Australian. I had to fight him for the Commonwealth. Then I had to fight Nick Blackwell, John Ryder, Spike O'Sullivan, all undefeated fighters. The only undefeated fighter you boxed is me, innit? And you got beat.
I've got the title now.
Exactly. The only undefeated fighter you boxed is me, and you got beat.
I've got the title. I've
You
earned
got
it.
the top, mate. I don't
I'm
want
ready
that
for the
title.
rematch. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter
want
what you
that.
want.
That's
You always talk about, oh yeah, I want to give the public what they want. Will the public want to see
Of
the
course I
rematch?
do. Listen, I'll give the public whatever they want. I've already
Okay,
give it to them.
well, let's do it.
I already give it to them. But now I'm cashing out. Listen, if you were in my position now, Chris, yeah, you said to me, when I beat him, I'm moving on. I'm not giving him this guy another chance. Did you say that?
I never said that.
You did
I
say
never
that.
said I wouldn't give you a rematch.
You must be brain dead, mate, because you said that. You did. And matter of fact, did they want a rematch clause in the contract? No, exactly. That's the reason why. You didn't want a rematch clause in the contract. Frank wanted a rematch clause just in case we had a clash of heads, something like that. But you said no rematch clause. Right or wrong?
I don't make the contracts. That,
Well, there
that goes
you
to,
don't make
that
the
goes
contract.
to
There's
my,
your answer. They
but
didn't want no rematch.
any man who can
but
get
I'm
in the ring
still
with me, I'll give
willing.
him a
Listen,
rematch.
Frank said I'm still willing to tell. I will give him a rematch, but on my terms. I'm cashing out first. What I've got to do and what I've got to get. Then you will have a rematch when I'm good and ready on my terms. If not, you can walk away and find someone else to
What do you
fight.
mean by cashing out? I'm confused.
I'm getting a lot of money now. A hell of a lot of money.
You're not
A
gonna
lot of
get
money
more.
to step aside.
You're not
money.
going to get more for this fight.
Listen,
here.
let me tell you, a lot of money to step
So
aside.
you saying you're cashing out doesn't
Then
make
I
any
listen.
sense.
Then also, if Andy Lee or Peter Quillen, it's a 50-50 split of me and Lee if Lee wins, and we've already got a sum to go to America, to the States. So it's a lot of money, mate.
Not more than
Yeah.
this.
Well, it probably is more than that.
No,
at the
it's
minute,
not.
yeah, because I thought I ain't even made yet.
No, it's
so
not.
that belt don't mean nothing. Listen, you know, if I boxed you, that belt wouldn't be on the line. If you want to box me, I'm not fighting for that. I want to embarrass myself.
I'll put the belt on. that's
Look,
fine.
listen, that belt's no good. That belt is no
You're
good.
worried
to
about
fight.
the money. The
We're not worried
money
about
that
listen,
comes
I'll tell
with
you
the
what,
fighting me
listen,
for this belt
when we
is more
fight,
than
let
what
me
you
tell
get.
you one thing. When we fight, we don't need a belt. We don't need a belt to fight.
That's right. Listen, I
Exactly,
don't care
because it's
about
last time that you said to Frank, and Frank had to pay people to step aside and what else, for you moaning about the British title, like you was actually going to win. You was worried about my belts last time. Worried about you wanted all 3 belts on the line.
Like
Did
I
he say
said,
that, Frank?
I don't make the contracts. All I care about is the fight.
No, well, you should have a say. You're a big man now, so you should have a say in your
That's
own
not
boxing
about it.
career.
All I
Yeah?
care about is the rematch. Whether
Well,
there's
not a
belts on
problem.
the line
well,
or
if you
not.
care about it, you best not get beat, son. Yeah, you best not get beat. You best keep winning. So you best keep fighting bums. 'Cause if you get beat, whoever beats
that's
you
exactly
takes your
why
position.
I don't want you fighting Quillen or Lee, because you're not going to beat him.
Let me tell you one thing. I've earned my right to get there, mate. So I will fight them, and I promise you
I'm
this.
sure you- I'm
Listen,
sure
you
you
told
will,
me
but
I
you
wouldn't
won't
beat
beat
you.
him.
You
You
told
won't
me
beat
I
him.
won't. You told me I wouldn't beat you.
You didn't beat
Did I
him.
beat you?
No, you didn't.
You just a minute ago.
Are
you said I got beat
you a better fighter than me than no? Do you have a win over me? Sure, but you know that's gonna be recollected
sorry, mate.
very
I do
soon.
know, I've got a win over you, but I'm not better fighting you.
That's right.
That's news to me.
There you go.
I'd-
So is you disappointed the Spike fight's not happening,
You know, I don't care about the guy. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that he's obsessed with me. At the end of the day, like I said, it's the rematch is all I'm caring about. And I'll fight whoever I have to fight in between times if I do have to fight in
You'd
between
rather
times.
fight a guy you know than an Australian lad you've never heard of.
I'd rather fight whichever one makes sense, whichever one the public wants to see most, which is probably Spike O'Sullivan. He's from Ireland. There's a rivalry there already, so it's a much more exciting fight for the public, for the British public to see. But you know,
If you want that
Report,
rematch,
sure,
you best keep away from Spike.
he doesn't have it in him to take the fight.
Is there nothing in the contract? Because the word out of Boston is that Frank, you want a free fight option on Spike if he beats Chris.
Yeah.
But that's why it's not happening.
Well, that's not why it's not happening. Why it's not happening? Because the amount of money they want for it, if he were to win what they want, and it's ridiculous.
Wembley's not big enough for this fight, Frank.
No. It's Wembley's capacity is just under 12,000. That's less than the last
Where
one.
would you like it to be?
Well, if we did it, we'd do it in a stadium, in an open air stadium somewhere. But you're not going to get that on and together by the 9th of May. First of all, it's because the football season's still on. All the stadiums are all being used by the various clubs. I don't think the season finishes till the end of May. And in the meantime, Bill had a fight. Since the fight in November, he's been sitting around, and I can't have him out of action. He don't want to be out of action, and he's supposed to fought, as I said, in the States on the 11th, but he had that small injury, so that stops us getting over there. So that's one of the reasons we put this show together.
Frank, if you was using Bill as a world title shot in July, maybe what sort of day do you think you could
Well, I think we can get it on fairly quickly in the autumn.
September?
Yeah.
Chris, is there a danger with you perceiving this rematch that you're going to take your eye off the ball with the Aussie? You're going to fight you know?
I've been told about this guy today, so I haven't had a chance to get my eye on the ball yet. But you know, I never overlook any type of fighter. I know this guy's had he's got 30 wins. You know, he's experienced. I don't know what type of fighter he is. I don't know his style, but you know, nothing will ever take my eye off the mark when I have a set fight in place. So I'll be ready.
Bill, were you really disappointed that Spike, Camp couldn't make this fight because he weighed in on Twitter telling him, you know, this is the way to the rematch?
Well, listen, like I say, Spike's a mate of mine. I'd like to see Spike get the fight. And listen, I step out from friendship and I would say, personally, I think I've been in with both of them. Spike can knock him out. That's as a fan. I would like to see the fight. I would love to see the fight. You know, 'cause it's a fight I'd be interested in looking at because, you know, obviously the potential rematch with me and him, and if Spike won, I beat him already. Potential rematch with me and him. So, you know, but I think that, you know, they should get together and try to make this fight for the fans for May 9th, because that fight really would be a fight I'd like to sit down and enjoy watching, because, you know, I think it's a shame for the fans' point of view missing out on this fight. Not me, but, you know, it's for the fans. I'd like to see that fight made for the fans.
You know, he gave him 1 out of 10 for his Chidenoff win, no?
Listen, if he knocks Spike out, if he's going to stand and knock Spike, I say, yeah, good performance. I took him 12 rounds. He didn't win 1 round when he boxed me. So, you know, he's got a lot really to step up, and there's a bit more pressure on him as well, because, you know, I think that the only really way he can benefit and get, you know, people pat him on the back for Spike is if he knocks Spike out. And Spike's a tough man. But listen, I think Chris, deep down, I think that his management team knows to stay away from Spike at the moment, I think.
Frank, is there any chance of resurrecting it, do you think?
Well, they know what the terms are and what we proposed, and they're very, very, I think, fair and generous. It's there if they want them, but, you know, in the meantime, we've got to move forward with what we've done. I can't sit around waiting for them. You know, at the end of the day, Chris is a champion, not Spike. He wants a shot at the title. He's got his opportunity to do it. You know, it's as simple as that. Are there any more questions? Is everybody good?
Originally, yes, that was the plan, but now that I've been told I'm fighting on May 9th, that's kind of thrown a big spanner in the works. So, you know, obviously my training camp should be over here, which is, you know, it's a huge shame. But, I don't know, we'll see.
We all done? Thanks very much. Thank you. We're